when people are emigrating the way it's taking place now in a number of African countries, is because they do not have much hope in those countries because of their deteriorating livelihoods. And also for youths, they don't see much of a future. Right? And so the reason why they're leaving is because those countries are not serving them. And why are they not serving them is because the governments in place have not, created the institutions with the right commitments to be able to do so. There's a very, very clear link between the failures in governance and the fact that the basic development outcomes are missing. No matter what is the institutions you have, there are rules that are established for particular purposes. So doing the right thing is there. Now, complicated because we have gotten so far down the wrong roads. We've made things very difficult for ourselves. You heard the amount of capital resources in terms of the outflows from Africa, right? That creates a tremendous problem. We have a problem with governments in place that are not respecting their own constitutions. So people are therefore losing respect in those systems of democracy that's supposed to be established. So on the one hand, yes, it's simple, but getting there, reversing a lot of the failures are going to be challenging. The first thing, the mere fact that we are all here today discussing governance for structural transformation. As I mentioned, I started 30 years ago creating the African Governance Program. It's the first time that was done. And I have given many, many talks on this topic. Well, now we have many, many people who are involved in it, many ideas. So the important step now is to really, can we distill what we have learned? That is why I proposed an African, governance and development learning network. We need to distill what we have learned, ourselves and others, but then we also have to address the question, how do we transmit this learning? It's no point just having learning if it doesn't bring about results. So those are, as I see it, that is what is ahead of us now. We've come a long way. And where we've come is really a recognition that we have to address these issues straight up, candidly, frankly, and honestly. Okay? So I believe more, I'm a strong believer in institutions, right? I'm a strong believer in having, openness, having ways of keeping people accountable, inclusion. I mean, I would put my emphasis more on that than on something a little vague and illusory called political will. Yeah. You can have people from government coming and saying, and they know the script, they'll repeat the script. So, no, just making appeals to people in government. I mean, I'm not saying other people could do it, but that's not where I would put my effort. I would put my effort in working with individuals, in organizations, getting them to collaborate, getting them to be clear about their agenda, and then having them make sure that they have systems of representation and accountability in place. That's where I would put the emphasis. Mais votre institution peut vraiment mener cet effort. Oui, le BAD, oui, pour le faire, absolument. Oui, et mon collègue, le docteur Célestin Monga, il est capable de faire. Bon. Donc, non, donc ce n'est pas moi, ce sont tous ces partenaires. Toutes les organisations qui sont représentées ici, ils sont capables de créer ce centre. À mon avis, ce sera un centre transnational. Oui. Voilà.